What's up everybody? Robert 184 One Japan continues. All the sights and sounds, mostly by train. And today, I'm in Aichi Prefecture at a very exciting, it is the linear motorcar. And we're talking about, it's another railway park. And... Yosha, let's go everybody, see what's inside. Linear motorcar, it's gotta be cool. Here it is when you come inside with a nice, long, interesting shaped building that very much matches the way the front of the train should look. And if you look over there, there's a mass of people. They're all waiting for the gift shop. Not kidding. And as you walk in, you're going from old carts, big wheel bicycles, better and better trains until we have the best. And in this inside, it's the same effect. Can't wait to go see these. To start with the past though, there's a nice Hitachi steam locomotive, very nicely preserved over here. So here's the front of the 300X with the gray colors below, familiar blue striping on white. And this is going to have a rounded in kind of face, very similar to what we've seen on the 300. Here's its full specs, 955. The experimental bullet train there, 300X, so that they can get better and better. 443 kilometers an hour, and here are some of its features. There also is an audio guide if you want to come and check it out. And this is the inside of the 300X. Doesn't look all that futuristic. And again, this is a prototype, especially with Gundams. We know how those all go. 450 kilometers an hour. They've got a lot of monitoring equipment here, so they can get as much information as possible and then get that into the real mass production trains. Now here's a picture of this train actually running. They've got different versions of it here. The more duck-billed one and the flatter one. As we all move through here with our cameras. And as we take a look at the side of the train here, in the back, they've had some great information flashing through. And then every once in a while, it's going to switch into movie time, showing the progress of the trains. But if you want to talk real speed, get off the ground. MLX 011. This is superconducting maglev vehicle. Looking very, very cool. Superconducting, the world speed record, eh? And if you take a look down here, we already saw some nice numbers over there on the other one, but 581 kilometers an hour. As you can see here, that it's gonna look fantastic with that great streamlined paint job. If you can get past that duck face, but hey, you need that kind of face if you want to get these kinds of speeds. Only in this one, they're not gonna go let you into the engineer's room, nor are they gonna let you sit. But you can see that they were testing out how it would work here for 2x2, but clearly this was designed for a prototype as opposed for actual commercial use. And when you walk into the main hall, the lights come on bright as you get a great view again across the years here. But the most of the focus has got to be on those beautiful Shinkansens over there. You've got the 0K, the 100, and those beasts, the 300s. This has to be the main attraction here, as everybody wants to get a photo in front of it. This is the 0K, the original one from the 1960s, revolutionized travel between Tokyo and Osaka, and was pulled out of service just a few years ago. And from the rounded nose there, things got a lot sharper. Think of this as the Gundam Mark II. This is the 100 class of bullet trains, and you can see back there it's got some interesting cars attached onto it. There's lots of simulators over there. If you don't mind waiting, you can go through and actually simulate driving some of these trains for an extra fee, of course. A lot of other old school trains on display, from baggage cars. Look at this one. Spiked right out over here for a gauging train. You'll see a lot of familiar colors in there, from the browns to the blues to the tan and reds that have been making up JR trains here, especially JNR ones, for most of the last few decades. And how about green and orange, another familiar color scheme there, suiting that it's the green car with the old school noses over there. And here's the back of a very famous old bullet train. You may say that's a pretty ugly color there in yellow, but there's a reason. So at night, while everybody's sleeping, Dr. Yellow would be working, running up and down the Shinkansen tracks, testing it with all sorts of complicated test equipment on board, basically making sure and keeping the bullet train's near perfect record for safety intact, thanks to this ugly color scheme though, but always popular with kids and collectors, because hey, he's just Dr. Yellow. That's the 100 class over there. What's sort of interesting, it's a Hikari running to Shin Osaka, but on the back, double deckers. So even though we see it today on things like the E4, this was all the way back on the 100 class as well. Here's the 100K, 123 specifically, running in front of Mount Fuji, always the most important thing. You can see that the technology inside was getting more and more advanced. Here's the years that it was in service down there, and 220 kilometers an hour. Nothing on the Maglevs, but a step up on the old 0K. Here's the 300 class. This is the leading car of the Proto Series, the third generation. And you can see after 220 there for the 100, that it went up to 270 down here. And of course the 200 up there was actually designed for north and running through snow and much tougher terrains than these southern ones. Gotta love seeing all of these trains together. Dr. Yellow, the 100, and the 0 there. The 3 here, definitely not as memorable, but nonetheless an important step here in bullet train evolution. Pretty impressive here to keep that safety record. If they detect an earthquake, they are going to stop the trains well in advance. So if you press the button, off goes the train. The earthquake is going to happen. They'll detect it. Then they'll send the signal to the power station. And they'll actually stop the power before the actual earthquake starts. Impressive and necessary. And here's the difference. Narrow gauge, 1067 millimeters. Next to the bullet train here, 1435. That is the literal meaning of Shinkansen. We talk here about how the nose shape has evolved over time. You can see the air here being moved around the train. Day in the life of the Shinkansen. That is looking pretty cool as they're showing between Osaka and Tokyo there. The train's driving back and forth. Maximum operating speed, 270 kilometers, but that's going to get beat up north. The history from the 0, the 3, the 7, and later the N7 is all laid out here. But it's the future that's going to be just as interesting. We're talking about the Chuo Shinkansen, a new line cutting through the center of the country. Linear motor car, 2027 Tokyo to Nagoya, 2045. They're thinking long term here, from Nagoya to Osaka. How fast is that going to travel? So from the second floor, you get an even better view. It's definitely got some good things here on Saitama, especially the focus here on the bullet train, seeing the 0, the 100, and 300 in such close detail there. I hope they had a 500 there in the future, and some of the interactive displays here are really good. Anyway, everybody, if you love trains, I hope you can come check this out in Aichi. And as always, One Japan is continuing.
今日はすごく面白かった。とっても面白かったから今度は埼玉に行ってみることにします。
Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.